Alright, so I was asked to do a driving instruction video for a manual transmission car. I'm not a professional driving instructor, I should say. I have been driving a manual transmission, well, pretty much since I got my license back in the day. Just to start off with some basics, I'm in a 2021 Hyundai Elantra. It's warming up right now. I'm kind of waiting for it to defrost the windshield before I take off. Instead of the two pedals, I have gas, brake, clutch down below. You can see my clutch actuation pretty good. I got a shifter here. This is my 6-speed. Reverse, I lift up this collar and go up into reverse. My goal as a manual transmission driver is always to be smooth, so I take it as a compliment when people tell me, wow, I didn't even notice this thing was a standard transmission. So that's kind of my ultimate goal. I learned through my mom teaching me initially, not my dad, he wasn't very good at it, and watching some YouTube videos. So to start, learn the pattern of your vehicle. Like I said, this is a 6-speed. I'm going to put it in first. My clutch is all the way in. There's something called a bite point. Now I'm coming out of my driveway on a hill. If I release my gas, or my brake, pardon, it starts to roll. Right about here, my car starts to bite my clutch, and I can start rolling. The bite point is the hardest thing to learn in a manual transmission because it takes a little bit of practice. You have to know how to put some gas, you have to know how to feather the clutch in and out. I recommend going to a parking lot, you know, a mall on a Sunday or something, and just practicing. That's what I did initially. It's what other people I've taught, I've done with them. I'm just going to go down my street here. In fact, I think I'll stop here and we'll try it again. You don't need a clutch to brake. I'm putting my brake first, and then when I'm almost stalled, I put my clutch in. Let's do that bite point again. So let the clutch out until I feel the car start to grab. You can actually feel it and hear it, and then I can start to roll. I can shift gears by pressing in the clutch and putting the shifter into second. You see people fast and furiousing the shifters, slamming them into gear. I am always very slow and deliberate and gentle with my shifter. It's a mechanical linkage, so it's not, you know, like a gated shifter, everything lines up perfectly. It's linkage. Linkages wear out. I like to be slow and steady and to the point with that. Okay, coming up to a stop sign here and show you what it's like to stop in traffic. I could have gone to a parking lot. Hopefully this format makes sense. I should have gone to a parking lot and kind of done the bite point first, but hey, it's okay. I can always do another one of these in the future if people really wanted it. Again, I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I've tried to learn some of the advanced manual transmission skills, and I can do a heel and toe downshift, and I can, you know, rev match a little bit. But here, coming up to the stop, I'm going to brake and clutch. Put it back in first. I'm all clear, so I get my bite point and I start to roll. First gear. I'm shifting around 3,000. Usually 2 to 3,000 in regular traffic is where you'd want to shift. Of course, if I'm merging on the highway, I'm going to maybe rev up into 3 to 4 to 5,000 depending. Cruising around town, usually it's third or fourth gear, so I'm in third right now. I have lots of power if I put my foot down. Let's go for a little cruise. So yeah, there is advanced driving. If you go on some forums on the internet, people talk about rev matching and heel and toe and double clutching. That stuff is advanced. You don't need that just for a regular, you know, drive to the store like what I'm doing now. It's stuff you can practice later on. Something you'll see people doing that drives me nuts is they'll put their car in neutral and coast, thinking they're saving gas or thinking that's how you should do it. You wouldn't do that with an automatic car. You wouldn't put your car in neutral and coast places, or at least you shouldn't. Looking at the driver's manual for New Brunswick, which is where I live, you're supposed to have your vehicle in a gear. So coming up to this stop sign, I'm going to brake, clutch in, put it in first, come to a complete stop, get my bite point, start taking off again. So sometimes if I'm at a red light, I will admit I'll pop it into neutral, but you need to be aware of your surroundings and be ready to put the vehicle back into first. And technically, according to the rule book, You shouldn't do that. You should always have your vehicle in gear. There's a throwout bearing on the transmission though when you push the clutch in, and if you leave the clutch pushed in a lot, it can wear out. I'm talking about like thousands of cycles, right, over a life of a vehicle, but it does wear out. So if I'm stuck in traffic, I'll probably pop it into neutral at a red light or whatever. I'm going to brake and turn because I'm just cruising here. Haven't really gone out of third gear, but that's okay. Why don't I make this the intro one? So I'm just learning friction points, learning the general mechanics of it. It's important not to ride the clutch. Now initially, you're going to ride the clutch because you're learning, and that's okay. It's important to be, deliberate with the clutch. So think of it like an on and off switch. You shouldn't really drag it, except for the periods when you're taking off like me right now. Get my bite point, start giving it gas. I think I'm going to go find a parking lot somewhere and I'll do a bit more on that bite point stuff. So I'm in third. If you were doing a panic brake as well, like if someone's pulling out in front of you, it takes a lot for the vehicle to stall. So if you are like, a dog runs out in front of me, you can slam on just the brake, don't worry about the clutch. Worst case, if you really have to come to a complete stop, the car will stall and that's fine. Stalling is a fact of life. Something about this clutch I find is quite light, and it's not as, it's kind of vague compared to other manual transmission vehicles I've driven. So yeah, I still stall on this vehicle on a semi-regular basis, I'm not afraid to admit. So stalling's a part of life. Turn the key, get it rolling again, don't feel too bad. I remember when I was learning how to drive, I had my beginners, my mom was with me, and I got stuck on a little incline in the city I grew up in, and I just could not get it going. It was busy, people were honking at me. I was 16 years old. Anyway, I think I'd be pulled in somewhere. I'm like, Mom, I'm done. For the rest of my driver training, at least, I was using my dad's vehicle, which was an automatic at the time. Just because it was a lot as a young learner. So, I guess I'm in a school zone. I should slow down a little more. So I'm just going to pull into this parking lot, which shouldn't have anybody in it, and we'll do a bit more on that bite point. Hey, that guy has the same car as me. Tinted windows and all. Okay, so this is snowy. It might not work well, but if I'm going to stop completely, let's do the bite point. Put it in first. Clutch in, brake off. You can hear it. Big thing when you're learning is being jerky. So if I come off too much, I kind of rock a little bit. Or that's how you can stall, is if you're too light. And it didn't stall. There we go. It doesn't want to stall today. But that's usually the most common issue, is stalling in low speeds, letting the clutch out in first. Like I said, if you go to a parking lot, I just did the neutral thing I said not to do. That's okay. If you go to a parking lot and practice the bite point, that's what you need to get started. My mom always told me a story about a lady that she taught how to drive a manual transmission in the 80s, and apparently she figured out how to get the car in second, and she just kept it in second for a couple weeks until she figured it out shifting gears. You can start in second gear. Like, I live at the bottom of the hill where, in a yield, which I'm coming up to now, you might not have to completely stop. You can put it into second and kind of just slow down and take off, or third even, doesn't really matter. I usually downshift when I'm approaching a turn, like from third to second, depending on the turn. So this is a third gear turn. There's a yield here. This is a weird intersection in the town I live in. So I'm gonna just keep it in third. It's gonna lug a little bit in third, but I'm fine. See, I can just kind of carry on, don't even need a shift. I also could have downshifted into second there. Why don't we cover downshifting here quick? So I am going to turn down this side road. I'm going to slow myself down, clutch in, put it in second, clutch out, take the turn. Just like it's not good to coast to neutral, it's not good to take a corner in neutral as well. because what if, again, a dog jumps out in front of you or something, you wouldn't be able to take off. Because I'm in gear, if I need to, I can put the hammer down, I can accelerate, I can decelerate. Much safer to have the vehicle in gear. I like the angle that I chose for this video. It works well. These Elantras have a big rail in the passenger compartment right about here. And everybody who gets in this car is like, what is this bar for? It's like an oh shit handle, I guess. And this is a good use for that, I suppose. Camera mount. There, I revved up to about 4. Shifting. Each time you shift, you do the bite plate thing as well. Like you kind of learn where it is. I can kind of put it in and out and I can feel it. But when you're rolling, it's much easier to shift gears. It's really, the bite point really comes into play in that that first gear start and stop. What are you doing, old fella? Ooh, nice Mazda B3200. And I'll go in a second. I'm turning into a parking lot here. So clutch in, shift a second, clutch out. Oh, and it's busy. Look at that. It's all right. Well, I think I'll end this first visit here. Don't know how long this has been, and it certainly wasn't all-encompassing. Let's call this day 1. Maybe tomorrow I'll go out on my lunch break and I'll do a bit more and maybe merge onto the highway and kind of show some of that driving. Hope this helps. Hope I don't get roasted too much in my driving style online. I have learned that there's a lot of people that learned this themselves and they have feelings on how you should do things or shouldn't do things. It can actually be kind of scary as a new person learning how to drive a manual transmission. Like the subreddit manual transmissions on Reddit is horrible for this, because people, if you're not doing it this way, then you're doing it wrong, and it's fine. Anyway, watch YouTube videos, take your time, don't worry about stalling, and you'll be fine. Okay, Moto Colpit's manual transmission education.